Hi, this is Lee Langdon. Today on the Young Adult World podcast, I visit with Aime Langdon. Aime is my beloved wife, the woman I adore. She's my partner in ministry, and I want everyone to know her. So before we take a short break from recording new episodes, I thought this would be a great time to get her on here. We talk about a lot of things, from growing up on the farm and playing trumpet in her cheerleading uniform, to raising kids and the joys of having them become awesome young adults. We also talk about our 25th anniversary trip to England. It was truly unforgettable. Okay, get ready to learn about the most wonderful woman in the world, my wife, Aime Langdon. Welcome to episode 30. Let's jump in. Welcome to the Young Adult World podcast. Aime Langdon, my beloved wife, thank you so much for being here on the podcast today.
Thanks for having me.
This is awesome. I'm so glad you're here. This is going to be a fun conversation. I just want everybody to know you. This is really important to me. So here we are. Amos, let's start at the beginning because I want everybody to know your story. Where were you born?
I was born in El Dorado Springs, Missouri, just a small, very small farming community in southwest Missouri, about an hour north of Joplin or Springfield. And that's where I was literally born and raised.
El Dorado Springs has springs in the name.
Because I guess when they first founded it, there was supposed to be some medicinal quality to the water.
So you grew up there. You were a little girl in El Dorado Springs.
Yeah, grew up, I'm the oldest of 5 kids in my family. We grew up on a farm. Both sets of grandparents lived in that same town. My parents grew up in that town. Some of my same teachers were my parents' teachers when they were growing up, kind of thing. So real small community. Everybody knew everybody else, generations deep. And my mom's parents grew up on a ranch. They had a ranch. So grew up spending a lot of time there.
A lot of cows.
Yep, cattle farmers.
They're big time cattle farmers. Like this was the life of your family.
Yep. Hauling hay and calving and chickens and riding horses and all those farm type things.
Yeah. And the teachers in your school, you saw them in the grocery store. And
you saw everybody everywhere because there was really nowhere to go. We had a Sonic and a Pizza Hut and a stoplight. That was it.
School was good. You were academic. Like you were smart.
I loved school.
Yeah.
I don't know that I was necessarily smart, but I liked to study and I loved school. I did well at school.
What was your favorite subject?
I loved English. I liked to write and read. I also liked science, liked biology a lot, but I also liked a lot of extracurricular stuff. In a small school, everybody has to do everything in order to have enough people to make a team. So you didn't ever really have to possess any talent per se to get to participate in things. So, which was great in one way because that means you get to try a lot of things. So I was a cheerleader.
You played basketball.
I played basketball. I was really involved in student government and a lot of different clubs in my high school. But I think I was most active in band. And I did band pretty intensely. Symphonic band, marching band, jazz band, took solos to state, all that kind of thing. Was really active in our band program.
What were your instruments?
I started in 5th grade playing trumpet, and then when I got to high school, they needed somebody to play French horn. I got recruited, and so I played trumpet in marching season and then French horn in concert season. I did that all the way actually through college.
You were a cheerleader and in band, like at the same football game.
Yeah.
How did that work?
Yeah, I would cheer during the quarters, and then at halftime, I would go march in my cheerleading uniform.
What did you and your friends do for fun in El Dorado Springs?
We were mostly just doing school activities because that's what there was to do. During the summers, it was a little bit different. Lots of camps. I worked at the pool. I taught swimming lessons. And then I also we had a town band that played on Fridays and Saturday nights and Sunday afternoons. I spent a lot of time with my family, a ton of time at my grandparents. They had a pool and it was just nice. My dad was often helping them haul hay or work cattle, and we just we're out there a lot.
Looking back on summers, it was probably a good feeling, just getting all sunburned and swimming in the pool every day.
Yeah.
That's a good time. I remember when I first met you, you guys would talk about singing together when you were in the kitchen doing dishes and stuff. This was like a thing you would do.
I'm the oldest, and then I have a brother just younger than me, and then I have 3 little sisters. We have a very female-dominant household when I was growing up. And there was a lot of singing and dancing, and but yeah, when it was time to cook or clean up in the kitchen, there was always some kind of music going on. And some of my mom's favorites that we would listen to were Leslie Gore, Hall & Oates. Those are the ones I remember.
Some good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some classics.
Man, I love a good Hall & Oates song.
Yeah.
You also talk about riding the bus every day. Did you do that?
I rode the bus, yeah, until I was, until I got into high school and I had early morning band practices or after school basketball practices. But yeah, it's just part of a rural community. Everybody pays their dues and rides the bus.
Yeah. I rode the bus. I don't know if everybody rides the bus anymore. Like we drove our kids to school.
It's less common. Yeah, it's definitely less common. I spent about 45 minutes on the bus.
Every time?
Every time.
Like in the morning and at night? Oh, my God.
So I was getting on the bus at shortly after 7, getting home at about 4:30.
Did you read? You couldn't read on the dirt road, I would imagine.
Yeah. I mean, I could read. Or, you have friends, fall asleep.
So high school was a good experience.
High school was a great experience, yeah. It was really teachers and coaches and directors that really supported and encouraged me. And so it was a really positive experience.
Yeah. Did you go to church with some of your teachers? Was that a thing?
I did. I went to church with some of my teachers. Just a couple of friends. Of course, in rural America, anywhere, churches are small. Just a couple of friends. There wasn't a youth group per se, but a lot of my good friends were involved in the local Christian church, and they had a pretty solid youth group. It was really active during that time, and so I was fortunate.
What would you say was a faith-building experience when you were in high school?
I went to Happy Hollow Camp in my later elementary years and into middle school, a little bit into high school, and those were really good experiences for me. I was baptized at camp. It was just really my first opportunity to be around a group of Christian kids my age. I think that really planted the seed for going to a Christian college for me, because I kind of thought going to a Christian university would be like church camp all the time. So that became a pretty high priority for me.
So when it came time to graduate, then you had to make a decision about what you were going to do next. How did you decide?
Well, I had scholarships to go locally, SMS, MSSC, which is called something different now. It's a university in Joplin. And of course, that's where the majority of all my friends were going. And my parents really wanted me to stay closer to home. But I ultimately decided to come to Oklahoma Christian.
You made a campus visit. Secured it for you?
I did, yeah. I came for a campus visit during the summer and really enjoyed the idea of being here and just really wanted to launch out and do something different. So I did.
So you came to OC to study what?
Education.
You always wanted to be a teacher?
Of some kind.
Where did that start?
I think being the oldest, I was the oldest in my family. I was oldest of all my cousins. I think just always being around little kids and kind of being put in charge kind of started all of that. I babysat a lot. My mom had a daycare with a preschool, so I was around that as well. I was involved in a program in high school where we got to mentor second and third graders, and I really enjoyed doing that. And so I just kind of thought that just felt like the natural choice for me.
You were always good with kids. That's just a thing for you, isn't it?
It's easy.
Yeah.
It feels like it's a natural thing for me.
You went to school and must have homed all that in, because you are really good at it now. I know that for sure. So tell me about, you were in Gamma.
I was in Gamma. I was involved in student government. I was in the band. I was really involved here at Memorial with the college ministry. Lots of amazing opportunities. College was an awesome experience for me.
What were the Spring Sing shows that you did?
We were elves, Santa's elves on strike. We were babies, and we were frogs.
Frogs.
Yeah.
So you were in the Senate. What was your Senate role?
I think at first I was maybe a dorm representative. And then I served as a class representative.
I don't know why I had in my mind you were a secretary.
Oh, yeah. And then I was a secretary.
Huh. Yeah, so like the student association secretary.
Yeah.
The
executive
the
secretary.
big dog. Yeah.
That was kind of a crazy time. That was the semester that I met you and we were planning a wedding, and I was taking a crazy amount of hours. And so it was really busy. I remember that as a really busy time, but it was all really rewarding.
Yeah. You traveled. You did a mission trip to, where'd you go?
I took a mission trip to Switzerland with Garrett and Lucky Fetched, and I also got to travel with band on band tour. Being from a small community, I didn't travel. The first time I ever even rode an airplane was when I went to Switzerland.
Wow.
So my first airplane ride was to London. Getting
That's cool.
the chance to see some of those big cities, places I'd never been, was a really great experience for me and kind of gave me a bit of a travel bug. I still love to travel.
Yeah. I remember the first time I went overseas, I got off the plane and it dawned on me that I can't get home. I can't just drive home. It was going to be a huge effort. Do you remember like that experience the first time you went to Switzerland?
When we got off the plane in Switzerland, of course, when we were in London, you were still hearing the English language. But when I got to Switzerland, it was all German. And I realized I kind of panicked a little bit when I couldn't read any signs. I couldn't understand what anyone was saying. And it kind of dawned on me that I couldn't figure out what was going on, even if I wanted to. So, but, there's comfort in a group. We were all English speaking, obviously. And our hosts were English speaking, and a lot of the members of the church were English speaking. And so it kind of settled into that a little bit. But it was a bit of a culture shock for sure.
Now, was that the summer when we met?
That was right before I met you. Yeah.
You were in Switzerland right before you met me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in Germany at the time. So we were
we were both over there.
We weren't that far away from each other, which is kind of
right.
cool. Yeah. I think, I think there was one other time before we met, we realized we were in the same place. ACU had the World Missions Workshop.
And we were both there.
Yeah, we were in the same, we figured out we were in the same place, but we didn't
know each other.
I probably saw you and thought, man, she's good looking. Look at that girl. I'm sure. Anywho. So you came back from Switzerland, and what was next?
Well, that summer I came back from Switzerland and did some summer school. I worked in the admissions office, lived here on campus that summer. And then right before school started is when I met you.
Yeah. It was a Sunday morning in the old auditorium, which is now the Fellowship Central.
Yep. And
you were sitting, I don't know, like 2 or 3 rows ahead of me. You had a blue dress on, this white hat, and I thought, I have got to meet this girl. Do you remember meeting me that morning?
I do, of course.
Yeah? What do you remember?
I just remember turning around and you were standing there with your big blue eyes, and you introduced yourself to me. And funny enough, I recognized your name right away because earlier in the summer, a good friend of mine, Angela, who had just returned from a mission trip in Germany, where she had met you, said, hey, I met this guy that's going to be coming back to the United States, going to be moving to Oklahoma City, who would be perfect for you. So that was the first time I heard about Lee Langdon. I wasn't really interested in being set up, so I kind of dismissed it, but it was pretty ironic when you introduced yourself to me.
I had no idea of that.
Yeah, and I thought she had set it up.
But she did not.
No, she had not.
I introduced myself to you because I wanted to, not because somebody told me about you.
Not because, it wasn't a setup.
Yeah.
But Angela had pretty good gut instinct on that one.
Yeah. That was the end for me. I mean, I was like, I got to get to know this girl. And I asked you out, and you said no.
Well, I didn't say no. I just wasn't available.
And then I asked you out again, and you weren't available again.
Again.
And then I asked you out again, and then you finally agreed.
Yeah, we worked it out.
Yeah, we did. It seemed like before we went out, though, on the first time, the new auditorium at Memorial was under construction.
Right.
And it was a Sunday night. Did we just happen to be there together?
I think so.
We ran into each other.
Yeah, we ran into each other after church, and they were giving a tour of the construction. And so I don't really remember much about the tour or the construction. I remember that we walked along and talked a lot before we finally went out on an official date.
Yeah, we did. And where do we go on our first date?
Shorty Smalls.
Yeah, it's not here anymore.
It's not.
So we had dinner at Shorty Smalls, and then we went to Hafer Park.
Yep. walked around Hafer Park.
There was what was it, Shakespeare in the Park show?
Shakespeare in the Park. But we were late. It had already started. So we decided to just walk around the park and talk.
Yeah, we literally just walked around forever.
We learned a lot about each other in a short amount of time.
Yeah. How about that, Aime?
How about it?
Trip down memory lane.
29 years ago.
We had one movie date that we went on before we got married.
Yeah.
Do you remember that movie?
Emma.
Emma.
With Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yes. Such a good flick.
Yep. Good one.
We would eat lots of Taco Bell and Sonic.
Yep. 99-cent bean and cheese burritos.
I had a nice car.
Yeah, you had a great car. You had told yourself there was never going to be food or drink in that car, but you let me order a grilled cheese sandwich and eat it in the passenger seat.
I wasn't going to tell you no. No way. So we meet, and then I actually moved to Ohio Valley College to be a recruiter. You stay back.
I went to see you just a few weeks after you moved. There was a big youth rally at OVC, and your parents were coming over with a group from New Jersey, and so I flew up. It was my fall break, so I could meet them.
Yeah.
Because you had met my family, but I had not met yours.
We decided to get married at some point rather quickly.
Yeah, that weekend. We pulled the calendar out, picked a date, called our parents.
So we're getting married.
Yeah.
We were going to get married in the spring, and then we decided to change it.
Yeah.
We didn't want to be apart. I was at OVU, and you were at OC, and we thought, why would we wait? Let's just be together.
Yeah.
So we get married.
We moved back to Oklahoma Christian, and you were working as a hall director and starting your master's in ministry. I had a couple years left of school. In August, we relocated and got settled in. And in September, we found out that we were going to have a baby.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Yay. So we had our first son at OC, living in Warlick Hall.
In Warlick Hall, that's right. And then that next year, I finished school, and you were working on your master's still. We just coordinated our schedules so we could hand off Britain in the middle of the day, and we got it done. And I graduated about 3 weeks before he turned a year old.
I remember that kind of being fun, having a baby and being in school. I mean, it was a lot of work, but
it was a lot of work.
But we had a good time.
Yeah, we made it.
Yeah, I finished my master's. We finished our work here at OC, and then we ended up working in Tulsa.
Yes, our first ministry job was in Tulsa. We did that for a couple of years. Then we went to Chicago, worked with the Naperville church between 4 and 5 years before we came back to Oklahoma.
Yeah, had all of our babies at those places.
Yep.
Aime, you stayed home with the kids. What was it like?
I did.
What was it like?
I always knew that I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom if I could. And so after I graduated, I stayed home with the kiddos, and that was it was exhausting. We had 4 kids in 6 years, so it was a lot of diapers and a lot of little people, but it was also really, really rewarding. Looking back on it now that they're all grown, I wouldn't change it for anything. I was able to be involved in their school stuff, sports teams and their activities, and did lots of play dates, and was able to be involved with your ministry as well. It was a good decision. And then, I had a chance to teach once the kids all got in school. And so I kind of got the best of both worlds.
I remember raising our kids in youth ministry was tricky sometimes because we didn't want them there for everything. I mean, the influence of teenagers was always on our kids. And so that was tricky. But you were able to go to camp. You were able to go on retreats and things. And
Absolutely.
That was really special. Yeah.
And we were able to host teens in our house always, which, all knew that just came with little people. But I think that was good. I think it was good for teenagers and young people to see that just because you have kids, your life doesn't have to stop. You can still be involved, and you can do ministry as a family at whatever stage you're in. And hopefully that was something that, influenced them and kind of maybe stuck with some of them as they have grown and started their own families, that, they saw us juggle it all and it can be done. And hopefully it had a good impact on our kids as well.
It was really important to us. It seemed like that we could take our kids anywhere. Like they would sleep on picnic tables late at night when we're still singing at camp, and they would be like passed out on the back table.
Yeah, our kids had to be pretty laid back and able to go with the flow because we were always going with the flow.
Yeah. So we were in Woodward when you went back into teaching. Didn't you start teaching in the preschool?
I did. I taught part-time in preschool and covered a couple of sub positions in an early childhood center when we lived in Woodward, but I didn't go back to full-time classroom teaching until we moved to Norman. And so I worked at a preschool part-time for a couple of years, and then started teaching, taught first grade for several years, taught a year of kindergarten before we moved here. I taught here in Edmond for 2 years, taught first grade. So I've taught 3-year-old preschool up through first grade.
And now you've decided to stay home from the classroom. You're starting something new.
Yeah, I've been tutoring for the last couple of years, really enjoying that. It gives me an opportunity to work one-on-one with kiddos, which is something that as a classroom teacher, you don't always get to do nearly as much as you want to with your students. And just, I've really enjoyed being able to give students, especially students who are struggling, that 30 minutes of undivided attention focused solely on exactly what they need support with. And that's been really rewarding. We play games and try to make it fun and just give them that support and attention that is sometimes hard to get in a classroom with a lot of students.
Everybody wins. It's you're helping and everything's positive for you, and they're learning and everything's positive for them and they're having a good time.
It's very rewarding. And, I feel like I'm able to support their classroom teachers. I love education. And so this is just, it's a new twist on it. There are parts of being in the classroom and being in a public school that I really miss. But the flexibility that this allows me to just do other things at this stage in our life, now that our kids are older, and it's a good place for me right now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, all of our kids are out of the house now.
Yes, we are empty nesters.
Yeah.
Officially, we've been empty nesters, I guess, for just over a year.
Tell me some great things about being empty nesters.
There's less laundry.
That's true.
You never complain about my cooking.
No.
No, it's good. We had kids really early. We didn't get a lot of that just us time on the front end, so it's nice that we're having that now. And with me not being tied to a school schedule, it gives us some flexibility to travel and have time together. All of our kids are fairly close, even though they're not living with us. They all live fairly close, so we get to see them when we get a chance to take a trip to Tulsa or Dallas. So it's good.
Don't you love having adult children?
I do. They're pretty awesome.
It is. Tell me something great about that, because it's awesome.
It's really cool to experience your kids as real people. The conversations are great. They're fun. The in-laws that we have had marry into our family are just amazing, and they're just a great match for each of our kids. It brings out the best in them, which I love to see. But yeah, having grown kids it's really a cool thing.
I completely agree.
I'm just so proud of our kids, of their hearts and their work ethic and who they are as people. Just, it's really cool to see them come into who they are, and now they're husbands and wives, and they're doing great in their jobs, and I'm just so proud of them. Love them so much.
It's just a feeling inside. It just kind of bubbles when you see them, and I'm so proud of my kids.
Yep.
One of the things that we've been able to do since we have been empty nesters is we like to go to the zoo.
I love to go to the zoo.
What do you love so much about the zoo?
I don't know. I love the animals, but I think one of the big things to me is it's so amazing just to watch animals in their, as close to their natural habitat as we can get. And just, I think you see so much of God's brilliance in their creation and how they relate to each other in their family units. And especially our zoo right now has a lot of baby animals, which is just really fun as well to watch family groups take care of those babies. It's a neat thing.
When we walk around, you often refer to God, and you often say those things.
Yeah, it's a neat thing to think about how complex we are as humans in our relationships and in the science of how our bodies work. But you see the same thing in every creature that he created as well. And that's just really speaks to the magnificence of his creation.
Yeah. What are your favorite animals at the zoo?
Elephants.
I knew you were going to say elephants.
Elephants are my favorite.
We have such a great group of elephants.
We do. And it's got that teeny tiny baby right now that's really sweet.
Xerxes?
Yeah. And I like the giraffes a lot as well. We always like looking at the lions because they've had the 5 baby cubs that are like 15 months old or something now. And we got to see them on the very first day they were released out into the public after they were born. So it's been neat to watch them grow.
Yeah, they've all got mohawks now. Their manes
their manes are coming in.
I love going to the zoo with you, Aime.
Yeah. You're a good zoo partner.
I enjoy it. So a couple of years ago, Aime, we went on a 25-year anniversary trip. Where did we go?
It was our delayed 25th anniversary trip to England.
Oh, it was so great.
It was so great. I think it was actually, we'd been married almost 27 years when we got there. But
by the time we got there.
Yeah, there's a lot of things happening our 25th year.
But just a 10-year anniversary, we went to Jamaica, and we decided that year, okay, our 25th is going to be in England.
Yeah.
So we kind of had 17 years of planning for this trip.
Yeah. I love England. I love everything English.
Tell me some of the highlights.
We got to go to Highclere Castle, which we're big Downton Abbey fans, so that was very fun.
Yeah.
I loved London. We drove through the Cotswolds, which was amazing. We got to stay in an old manor house that had been converted into a hotel up in the Peak District.
Was it the Dumbleton?
The Dumbleton, yeah.
Dumbleton Hotel.
One of my favorite places that we visited was Fountains Abbey, which were ruins of a monastery. We got to go to the shore a bit. Scarborough and Robin Hood's Bay. I loved Yorkshire. Cotswolds and Yorkshire were, I think, maybe my 2 favorite places. I love England.
Yeah.
I want to go back as soon and as often as possible.
Jane Austen was a big deal to you. In college, you you had a whole class on Jane Austen.
I did. My World Lit class was Jane Austen novels.
So Pride and Prejudice was a big movie, has been a big movie for us for a long time. And then we went and saw
Pemberley.
Yes,
Chatsworth House.
It's called, it was Pemberley in the movie, but it's called
Chatsworth House. Why did I forget that one? Chatsworth House was definitely one of my favorite spots that we went. We spent absolutely all day there. We took a tour through the house and then spent hours in the grounds, and I could have gotten up and gone the next day and done it all again. It was beautiful, and it was really cool to get to stand in the places, in these rooms where I've watched this movie a zillion times. It made me understand why people went for walks all the time. In all those Jane Austen novels, because it's just beautiful, beautiful places to walk.
England is a fave for us now, and we're like, we got to go back ASAP.
Yes.
Yeah. So we are here at Memorial Road. We've been here for about 3.5 years now, working in young adult ministry. Yeah, it's been fun, hasn't it?
It has.
Yeah. What have been some highlights for you?
I think just getting to support these young adults as they're finding their place in the church, and just kind of discovering their own passions for ministries that they connect with and places that they're discovering that they can serve is a really cool thing to watch. Sometimes it's kind of hard to figure out where do I fit in and what do I have to offer, and getting to walk alongside these young adults as they're discovering that has been a cool thing.
Well, I'm glad that you are part of this ministry too, love. I know you're on the podcast. This isn't your favorite thing to do, but man, what a great opportunity for people to listen, to hear about you. And guys, if you're listening out there and you haven't met Aime, I just really want to encourage you to meet her, to get to know her. She's awesome. I mean, I picked her a long time ago, and I pick her every day. She's fantastic. So Aime, thanks so much for being on the Young Adult World podcast today.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for joining us today. I hope this conversation was meaningful to you. Come find us on Instagram. Our profile is Young Adult World Podcast. Tell us what you connected with during our podcast today. This podcast is part of the Young Adult Ministry at the Memorial Road Church of Christ in Edmond, Oklahoma. Come join us sometime. There's plenty of room for everyone. If you want to reach out to us, don't hesitate to email us at youngadultworldpodcast@gmail.com. And we are so grateful for Jacob Staten. Jacob is a young adult who edits this podcast for us and keeps this thing going. So thanks, Jacob. Okay, guys, see you next time for another Young Adult World conversation.